Hey guys, my name is Deacon. I am the founder of Bios Nutrients, and I'm doing this because I absolutely love plants and I have such a passion for soil. The thing we've forgotten is that plants actually need a healthy soil to survive and thrive. And I feel like we look at nature outdoors and we see everything constantly thriving, but we never really wonder why. And that was one of the main things that led me to start researching soil biology and what actually went into soil to grow plants. I was sick and tired of buying liquid fertilizers that I was just basically throwing money away at and not even getting the full benefit of them, not even the results that I wanted to see. So that's when I started turning to soil health and biology, and it blew my mind on what I learned about it. It is such a fascinating world, and it's so diverse and it's so huge. Like, if you imagine a teaspoon of soil has over 1 billion living organisms within it. That means 7 teaspoons of soil has more people than we have on this planet. Probably, honestly, 1 teaspoon of soil has more people than we have on this planet. And the diversity of that is insane. There are trillions and trillions and trillions of different microbes just on this planet alone. There is a theory that says that there are more microbes just on planet Earth within the soil, the air, our bodies, the oceans, inside the Earth itself, that there are more microbial cultures than there are stars in the sky. That is amazing, and we barely even scratched the surface of that 1%. So that's what fascinates me so much about soil, is that is the driving factor about what grows plants. It's not the liquid fertilizer that we apply to it. It's not the synthetic chemicals that we are using on our farms or the pesticides. It is all within the biology that's in the soil and on the plants. And they all have different functions, different forms on what they do and how they react to our body as well, which is an amazing connection. And another one that really drives me to be so passionate and curious about this is that we are the soil. We are the exact same as soil and plants. We're no different. There's no separation between us and it. If you feed your body good things, then your body will thrive. If you feed your insides great, the outside will thrive. You'll be healthy. You'll be able to move. You'll be mobile. And the soil is the same way. So, we have so many health issues due to putting chemicals on our bodies, whether that be chemical sunscreens, even in our bodies. There's so many chemicals that we put in our bodies, in our foods. Processed foods are full of different chemicals. And it's the exact same issue that we have with soil. We're using synthetic, man-made chemicals on our soil, which is ultimately destroying the life within it. That is the biggest issue with using products that are currently on the market and that have been pushed for the past 60 years for not only agriculture, but for the food we eat at home. I don't know if a lot of us think about this, but food or food plants, any plant for that matter, is a bioaccumulator. So it will accumulate heavy metals or different things that are in the soil, and that ends up being in the final food that we eat. So if we imagine a farm where they're using synthetic chemicals and pesticides, that is in our bodies. And not only in our bodies, but majority of these chemicals have only been passed for use on very specific times of the day, very specific wind, because if they don't have that, they will vaporize and basically be sprayed on your home. That's going to get on things that you use every day, the bed that you sleep in. And they did just link Alzheimer's to pesticide use from the University of Guelph. So I'm very passionate about this because I want to make a huge difference in this as a standard of how we treat our soil and how we treat our plants, because it is completely damaging our ecosystem. Not just the food that we eat, but it's the water that we drink, the animals that we need to survive, like bees. Bees are the only reason why food production happens naturally, and we are taking away that resource completely and not even being mindful of what's actually causing it. So I want to make a big change with these products because I feel that they do have the potential to change the current standard of this. I'm recreating how soils are fed in nature, and that alone is going to make a massive difference, not only for houseplants, which definitely need help. Like, a lot of us don't know where to start with that. We're new to growing when we start doing houseplants, so if I can offer some piece of advice to those people that are starting out and get them started on the right foot and really understanding what soil is and how it works to grow plants, then I think that will end up kind of spiraling into a bigger picture of how you look after your garden. Like, a lot of people that start getting into plants want to get into gardening as well, and why not? It's so beautiful to be able to grow your own food, to consume things that you grow, and to be able to transfer that knowledge from houseplants to the garden to agriculture is huge. And that is why I'm doing this, and that is why I want to share this with you guys, because I want to make it common knowledge about what this is and what soil is and what it can do. You know, when I started growing plants, there wasn't a lot of information on cannabis specifically. So cannabis was obviously an underground culture. There wasn't a ton of solid research done on it for growing. So it was all just things that people had done over the years and either found a system that worked for them and passed that on, or were trying new things. So when I was looking at trying to learn how to grow, it was all based off of using mostly synthetic liquid fertilizers, even if you were growing in soil. Like, the first year I grew, I bought, I don't even know how much soil, 20 large bags of, I think they were a couple cubic feet each. Anyway, like hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of soil. And that should have been good enough to grow the plants, but because I didn't know and because of what I was being told was the standard, that's what I did. I went out and bought thousands of dollars worth of liquid fertilizers because that's what I thought you had to do, and that's what a lot of us are told what to do. And this was only 6 years ago as well, so it has been evolving, but I was very curious about finding out how I could avoid that, and especially if there's a way that I could start making my own products with ingredients that I knew was going into it that were ultimately going to be consumed by my body. And that's where I stumbled upon the fermentation, or the art of fermentation, and how that cultures different microbial species that we can add back to our soil. And we also don't think about the organic matter that goes back onto soil, like leaves and flowers and fruits and everything. Like, food is, for us, food as much as it is for the soil. It's the exact same. And if we look at feeding the soil rather than feeding the plant, I think that will make a massive difference in the way that we look at taking care of plants and keeping them healthy.